Good morning, all. Welcome to the lecture of Advanced Mathematics. Screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so in last lecture we have seen what is a pigeonhole principle. That is, if there are n pigeons and that can be assigned to m pigeonholes, then there is at least one pigeonhole that contains two or more pigeons whenever m is less than n. That is, the number of pigeonholes are less than the number of pigeons. Then there exists one at least one pigeonhole which contains two or more pigeons, and we have seen its proof and some, and we have solved and we have also solved some examples depending on this principle. Now there is one more principle, that is generalized pigeonhole principle. First, let us see what is a generalized pigeonhole principle, and after that we will see some examples depending on that. Okay, so generalized pigeonhole principle. If n pigeonholes are occupied by k into n plus 1 or more pigeons where k is any positive integer, more pigeons where this k is a positive integer, then at least one pigeonhole is occupied by k plus 1 or more pigeons. Okay, so if there are n pigeonholes and they are occupied by k into n plus 1 or more pigeons where k is any positive integer, then at least one pigeonhole is occupied by k plus 1 or more pigeons. As we already know that we, if there are n pigeons and n pigeonholes, where m is less than n, then at least one pigeonhole is occupied by two or more pigeons. As here there are n pigeonholes and the pigeons are k into n plus 1, where k is any positive integer. K is positive integer, it means it is greater or equal by 1. So if there are n pigeonholes and k into n plus 1 pigeons, then at least one pigeonhole is occupied by k plus 1 or more pigeons. Okay, whenever n is equal to, sorry, if k is equal to 1 also, then there are n pigeonholes and n plus 1 pigeons. Just we will apply the pigeonhole principle. Okay, if there are n pigeonholes and k is equal to 1. If k is equal to 1, then the number of pigeons will be equal to n plus 1, and the number of pigeonholes n plus 1 is less than n. Then by pigeonhole principle, there is at least one pigeonhole which contains two or more pigeons. Obviously, this n is, sorry, n plus 1 is greater than this n. It means number of pigeons are greater than the number of pigeonholes. Then by pigeonhole principle, at least one pigeonhole is occupied by, yeah, two or more pigeons. Okay, that is, it is nothing but here as k is equal to 1, so at least one pigeonhole contains two or more pigeons. Similarly, for k is equal to 2, k is equal to 3, and so on. Okay, कुणाला काही डाऊट यामध्ये?
No, sir.
Okay, let us see one example. A bag contains black, black, blue, and white socks. Find the minimum number of socks. Number of socks that one needs to choose in order to get two pairs of socks of the same color. So, same color. Okay, so here there is one bag which contains the black, blue, and white socks, and we have to find out the minimum number of socks which are required to get to a two pairs of socks of the same color. Two pairs of socks of the same color, it means there are four socks and they are of same color. And we have to find out the minimum number of socks so that there are two socks which are sorry, there are two pairs of socks and which are of the same color. Okay, and that is we have to find out. Okay, now here there are three colors of sock, that is black, blue, and white. Okay, so the number of pigeonholes are equal to three. Solution here n is equal to 3, and we have to find out the minimum number of socks so that we will get the two pairs of socks of the same color. Two pairs of socks of the same color, it means the value of k plus 1 will be equal to 4. That is, we have to find out the pigeonhole which contains the k plus 1 or more number of socks. That is, here, as here we have given that we have to find out the two pairs of socks of the same color, it means there are four socks, and that is the value of k plus 1. So as here k plus 1 is equal to 4, so what is the value of k is equal to 3. So here we get n is equal to 3 and k is equal to 3, and we have to find out the value of k into n plus 1, since we have to find out the minimum number of socks so that we will get the two pairs of socks of the same color, which implies k into n plus 1 is equal to k is nothing but 3 into 3 plus 1, and which is equal to 10. So how many socks are required? So there are 10 socks are required so that two pairs of socks of the same color. Okay, this is by the generalized pigeonhole principle. If we can't apply the generalized pigeonhole principle, then also we will handouts here, as there are three colors of socks. Okay, so first three socks are of the same color. If we again, but here we will require four socks and they are of the same color, then how many socks we will require? Then there are 10 socks. Okay, kunal kai doubt hai?
No, sir.
Now again, next there is one, this one, that is extended pigeonhole principle. Extended pigeonhole principle. Seed statement. If young pigeons are assigned to young pigeonholes and n is greater than m, that is the number of pigeons are greater than the number of pigeonholes, then one of the pigeonhole must contain least m into, sorry, greatest integer value of n minus 1 divided by m plus 1 pigeons, where the symbol with x is nothing but the greatest integer less than or equal to x, and which is a real. Okay, so if there are n pigeons and m pigeonholes where n is greater than m, then one of the pigeonhole must contains the greatest integer value of n minus 1 divided by m plus 1 pigeons. Okay, and that is we have to find out. Let us see an example. If 9 books are to be kept in a 4 shelves, there must be at least one shelf which contain at least three. Sorry. Yes. Okay. If 9 books are to be kept in a 4 shelves, there must be at least one shelf which contain at least 3 books. Okay. त्या एक्झाम्पलला बघून सुद्धा आपण जनरलाइज करू शकतो. शेल किती आहेत माझे 4 आहेत. प्रत्येकामध्ये एक एक जरी ठेवला तरी पहिल्या 4 मध्ये 4 बसतील. परत प्रत्येकामध्ये एक एक जरी ठेवला तरी परत 4 ऑक्युपाय होतील. माझा एक बुक शिल्लक राहील. तो बुक त्या 4 पैकी एकामध्ये कुठे ठेवावंच लागणार आहे. याचा अर्थ काय? कमीत कमी एक शेल मिळेल मला ज्यामध्ये कमीत कमी 3 बुक माझे ठेवलेलेच असतील. कारण दुसरी पॉसिबिलिटीज नाही आहे. कारण पहिल्या 2 वेळेला तर आपण प्रत्येकामध्ये एक एक ठेवलाय. दुसऱ्या वेळेलाही प्रत्येकामध्ये एक एकच ठेवला. म्हणजे कमीत कमी एक असा असेल माझ्याकडे ज्यामध्ये 3 बुक्स असतील. ओके, अँड दॅट इज वी हॅव टू सॉल्व बाय युझिंग द extended pigeonhole principle. Okay, so here these 9 books can be considered as the pigeons and these 4 shells can be considered as the pigeonholes. Okay, so here what is the value of n here?
9.
9, and value of m is nothing but 4, where this one is nothing but the pigeonholes, that is the 4
सर
shells.
काहींना जॉईन होता येत नाही.
लवकर झाले. Okay, join करा सांगा. And this n is equal to 9 is nothing but the pigeons. Okay, so by the extended pigeonhole principle, at least, sorry, by the extended pigeonhole principle, there is a pigeonhole which contains at least greatest integer value of n minus 1 divided by m plus 1 is equal to greatest integer value of 9 minus 1, 8 divided by m, that is 4, plus 1, that is equal to greatest integer value of 2 plus 1 is the greatest integer value of 2, that is 2, plus 1, which is equal to 3 pigeons. That is at least 1 minute. Okay, sorry. So at least one, sorry, there is one shape, so that there is a shape which contains at least 3 books. Okay, let us take the second one. Find the minimum number of students. Find the minimum number of number of students in a class to be sure that 4 out of them are born in the same month. So here just we have to use the extended pigeonhole principle. So let us tell me how to solve this one. First tell me what is the value of m, what is the value of n, and what is we have to find out. Yes, find the minimum number of students in a class to be sure that 4 out of them are born in the same month. As here we have to use the extended pigeonhole principle. 4 out of them are born in the same month. It means we have the value of greatest integer value of n minus 1 divided by m plus 1 will be equal to 4. Okay, so here consider these, to consider the 12 months as the pigeonhole. Okay, so consider the 12 months of the year of the year as pigeon. Okay, so what is the value of m? M is nothing but 12, and we have to find out the minimum number of students in a class to be sure that 4 out of them are born in the same month. So what is the value of greatest integer value of n minus 1 divided by m plus 1, which is equal to 4, which implies greatest integer value of n minus 1 divided by m. M is 12 plus 1, which is equal to, sorry, this plus 1, subtract minus 1 on both sides, then we will get 3. So which implies, as we know that greatest integer value of x divided by y is nothing but the greatest integer value of x divided by greatest integer value of y. So it can be written as greater. This will be true for if x and y are integer. Greatest n minus 1 is an integer. N is an integer, so then obviously n minus 1 is an integer. So it is nothing but n minus 1 divided by 12. Greatest integer value of 12 will be 12 only. That is equal to 3. So what is the value of, as we know that n minus 1 is an integer, then greatest integer value of n minus 1 is n minus 1. Multiply both sides by 12, then it is nothing but 36. So what is the value of n? N is equal to 37. So which implies that we require at least 37 students, so that 4 out of them will have the, that, sorry, 4 out of them are born in the same month. Okay. So the minimum number of students, minimum number of students are 37. ओके. कोणाला काही डाऊट यामध्ये?
No, sir.
जरी समजा तुम्हाला हा आठवत नसेल, हा रिझल्ट एक्सटेंडेड पिजन होल प्रिन्सिपल विचारलाय काय, फाइंड द मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ स्टुडंट्स इन द क्लास टू बी शुअर दॅट 4 आउट ऑफ देम आर बॉर्न इन द सेम मंथ. जर मला काय करायचं आहे, 4 स्टुडंट पाहिजे जे की एकाच मंथमध्ये बॉर्न झालेले पाहिजे. मग जर समजा मी 12 स्टुडंट, कमीत कमी मला 12 स्टुडंट लागतील 12 मंथसाठी, पण मला काय फाइंड आउट करायचं आहे, असं मंथ फाइंड आउट करायचं आहे ज्यामध्ये 4 स्टुडंट पाहिजे मला. मग दुसरी पॉसिबिलिटी, पहिले 12 स्टुडंटसाठी 12 मंथ, परत 12 घेतला तर मला पॉसिबिलिटी आहे की कमीत कमी एकामध्ये मला 2 मिळतील ना. जर मी 24 घेतले तर परत 12 घेतले तर माझे किती झाले, प्रत्येक मंथमध्ये मी जर एक एकच कन्सिडर केला तर किती
36.
36 झाले. मग मला आता पॉसिबिलिटी आहे, मला काय फाइंड आउट करायचं आहे, मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ स्टुडंट्स, सो दॅट 4 आउट ऑफ देम विल बी बॉर्न ऑन द सेम मंथ. इफ वी टेक ऍटलिस्ट 1, दे कुठलंही एक स्टुडंट घ्या 12 मधून, कोणत्या तरी एका मंथ मध्ये माझे 4 होतील मग.
Yes, sir.
So the value of n is nothing but 37. Yes, up to now any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Next, pigeonhole principle second form. Pigeonhole principle. Principle second form. Okay. See. If f is a function from a finite set, from a finite set x to a finite set y, where cardinality of x is greater than the cardinality of the set y. That is, the number of elements in x are greater than the number of elements in y. Then f of xi or x1 is equal to f of x2 for some x1 x2 belonging to capital X and x1 is not equal to x2. It means there is one function f which is defined from set x to set of y, such that they at least 2 elements in set x have the same image in the y. Okay, that is, there must be at least 2 elements, at least 2 elements in the domain that have the same image in the codomain. Okay, that is we have given. If f is a function which is defined from set x to set y, and there are at least two elements in x which have the same image in codomain. Okay, let us see one example. Show that in any set of 11 integers, there are two there are two whose difference is divisible by 10. Okay, and we have to use the pigeonhole principle second form. So we have to show that in any set of 11 integers, there are two whose difference is divisible by 10. Now tell me whether out of these 11 integers, whether it is possible that two elements are same. कोणतेही 11 इंटिजर्स घ्यायला सांगितलंय, मग त्यामधले मी दोन एलिमेंट सेम घेऊ शकतो का? Yes.
No, sir.
Why?
Set दिलाय ना सर.
As it is a set, then it is a well-defined collection of object. Okay, म्हणजे एलिमेंट माझा कोणताही रिपीट होणार नाही. So obviously, as it is a set of 11 integers, it means these 11 integers must be distinct. Okay, so if there is a distinct collection of 11 integers, then we have to show that there are at least two elements in that set having differences divisible by 10. Okay, so let us take f is a function from set A to set B, and A is nothing but where A is the set of 11 integers. Okay, and we know that if 10 is divisible by any integer, sorry, over modulo 10, what are the possible reminders over modulo 10?
0, 1, 2, 0 to 9.
So consider B be a set which contains the element 0, 1, 2, 3 up to so on 9. So what is the cardinality of A here? Cardinality of A is nothing but 11, and cardinality of B is 10. So obviously cardinality of A is greater than the cardinality of B, and we have to use the second principle, sorry, pigeonhole principle second form. As here f is a function from A to B and cardinality of A is greater than cardinality of B, then by the pigeonhole principle second form, there must be at least two elements in A which have the same image in B. If we define a function that is here, suppose this one is nothing but A, and having elements are any A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I, J, and some K. Okay, so suppose these are the any 11 integers, and here is our another set B, which contains the element 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And f is a function which is defined from this set A to set B. Okay, so as here cardinality of A is greater than the cardinality of B, then by the definition of function, as f is a function from A to B, then each element in A has a image in codomain. So obviously, whenever A is mapped to 0, B is mapped to 1. So up to suppose up to this J, each element in A is have a distinct image in B, but cardinality of A is 11, cardinality of B is 10. So there is one element in A which have no image. As it is a function, then it must have image. So this K must be mapped on any of these 10 elements. So there must be at least two elements in this A which have the same image in set B, and that two and the difference of that two element must be divisible by 10. इज इट क्लिअर?
Yes, sir.
ओके, कार्डिनॅलिटी ऑफ ए काय आहे माझी 11 आहे, कार्डिनॅलिटी ऑफ बी काय आहे माझी 3 आहे, पॉसिबल रिमाइंडर काय आहेत माझी ती आहे. मग जर 10 एलिमेंट 10 डिस्टिंक्ट एलिमेंटला मॅप झाले तरी ठीक आहे, पण माझा जो 11वा एलिमेंट आहे तो 10 मधून कोणत्या तरी मॅप होईल. मॅप कसा होईल? एफ हा माझा फंक्शन आहे याचा अर्थ ऑब्व्हियसली प्रत्येक एलिमेंटला माझ्या इमेज असेल, म्हणजे केलाही इमेज आहे माझ्या डेफिनेशन ऑफ फंक्शननुसार. 10 एलिमेंट 10 डिस्टिंक्ट एलिमेंटला जरी मॅप केले तरी जो 11वा एलिमेंट आहे तो त्या 10 मधून कोणत्या तरी एक एलिमेंटला मॅप करेल, आणि ऑब्व्हियसली जो एलिमेंटला तो मॅप करेल त्या एलिमेंटला ऑब्व्हियसली एक अगोदरच माझी प्री इमेज आहे, आणि त्या दोघांचा डिफरन्स जे एलिमेंट ए मधून माझे मॅप करणार आहेत सेम एलिमेंटला त्या दोन एलिमेंटचा डिफरन्स ऑब्व्हियसली डिव्हिजिबल बाय 10 असेल, कारण दोघांचा रिमाइंडर हा माझा 4 आहे, याचा अर्थ ते दोन एलिमेंटचा डिफरन्स हा डिव्हिजिबल बाय 10 असेल. जर क्लिअर होत नसेल तर फॉर एक्झाम्पल घेऊन चेक करू शकता, पण दिस फॉर एक्झाम्पल इज नॉट अ प्रूफ ऑफ अवर रिझल्ट. ओके, तुमच्या कन्व्हिनियन्ससाठी तुम्ही चेक करू शकता, पण एका एक्झाम्पलवरून तुम्ही ठरवू शकत नाही की तो रिझल्ट ट्रू असेल. त्यासाठी तुम्हाला हेच समजून घ्यावं लागेल. यामध्ये कोणाला डाऊट असेल तर परत विचारू शकता. येस, कुणाला काही डाऊट?
No, sir.
ठीक आहे, इथे आपला कॉम्बिनेटोरिक्सचा पार्ट संपतो, म्हणजे चॅप्टर संपत नाही, फक्त कॉम्बिनेटोरिक्स मध्ये जे आपण प्रोडक्ट रूल सम रूल पाहिले त्यावरून परत कॉम्बिनेशन परम्युटेशन वॉटर इट विल these types of examples. Then we have seen what is a principle of inclusion and exclusion, and lastly we have seen pigeonhole principle. त्या टाईपचे सर्व एक्झाम्पल इथं सांगतात. नेक्स्ट आहे कॉम्बिनेटर्स मधलाच भाग आहे, बट विच इज नथिंग बट द recurrence relation and generating function. Recurrence relations are somewhat our ODE and PDE examples, and generating functions are nothing but that is 1 upon 1 minus x, which can be written as 1 plus x square. That is a power series expansion. Okay, and that is we have to see. So next sub point in our fourth unit, that is combinatorics, which is nothing but the recurrence relation and generating function. Recurrence relation and generating functions. Okay, so first we will see the generating functions. Since there is a use of these generating functions in the recurrence relation for solving its solution. Okay, that is we have already seen the problems. If suppose d square plus 2 times of d plus 1 is equal to 0, then we will take this one as an auxiliary equation. For example, if equal to 0, then it must be in the homogeneous form. If it is not equal to 0, that is suppose some sin x, cos x, whatever it will be, then we have to first find out its auxiliary equation, convert it into auxiliary equation, and we will find out its complementary function cf, and then we will find out the value of pi, that is particular integral, and the sum of this complementary function and particular integral is nothing but the solution of given differential equation. Yes na?
Yes, sir.
त्या टाईपचेच एक्झाम्पल आहेत, फक्त थोडंसं वेगळं यूज केलं आहे. ओके, सो फर्स्ट वी विल सी व्हॉट आर दी जनरेटिंग फंक्शन्स, अँड टू फाइंड आउट द particular integral we will require these generating functions. So first we will see what are the generating functions, and then we will see what are the recurrence relation. Okay, so first let us see what are the generating functions. Okay, the generating function for the sequence function for the sequence a naught, a1, a2, up to so on some finite terms ak, and again so on. As it is a sequence, then it has an infinite number of elements of real numbers. Of real numbers is infinite series. Infinite series g of x which equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus up to so on akx raised to k, and which can be written in a series form as summation k running from 0 to infinity akx raised to k. Okay, so whenever there is one sequence a naught a1, there is a sequence having terms are a naught a1 a2 up to so on ak, and again so on of real numbers, then the infinite series, that is g of x equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus up to so on akx raised to k, that is it can be written as summation k running from 0 to infinity akx raised to k. This one is nothing but the generating function for the given sequence. Okay, for example, the generating functions for the sequence, the generating function for the sequence ak, it means it kth, this will be kth any general term. Okay, where ak is equal to 2, ak is equal to 3 raised to k, and ak is equal to k plus 1 r. Okay, so here we have given the kth terms of the sequence. That is, kth term of the sequence will be equal to 2. This will be the first sequence. This one is the second, in which kth term will be 3 raised to k, and this will be a third sequence having kth term will be k plus 1. So what is the first sequence? The sequence corresponding to this ak equal to 2 is nothing but, as its kth general term is 2, then it is a constant sequence, that is 2, 2, 2 up to so on, 2 and again so on. Okay, and the sequence corresponding this to this ak equal to 3 raised to k, here just we have to run out the value over k, that is k is running from 0 to infinity. So what should be the first term? 3 raised to 0, which is 1, 3, 3 square, 3 cube, and up to so on, 3 raised to k and so on. And what is the sequence corresponding to this ak equal to k plus 1, which is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on k plus 1 and so on. So these are the sequences, and we have to find out its generating functions. So what are the generating functions? Whenever a naught, a1, a2 up to so on ak is a sequence of real number, then the infinite series, that is g of x equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus up to so on akx raised to k plus up to so on, is nothing but the generating function for the sequence a naught, a1, a2 up to so on. So as here, this one is the sequence ak that having kth term will be 2, that is its sequence is nothing but the constant sequence 2, 2, 2, so on. So what is its generating function? क्लिअर आहे ना. एक जर सिक्वेन्स असेल ए नॉट ए वन अप टू सो ऑन ए के, परत सिक्वेन्स आहे त्याला अर्थ ऑब्वियसली इन्फायनाइट टर्म्स असतील, सो ए के अप टू सो ऑन, then its generating function is nothing but g of x, which is nothing but coefficient of a naught. We have to take one coefficient, this one actually a naught x raised to 0. So what is the coefficient of x raised to 0, which is a naught? We have to take the coefficient of x as a1, coefficient of x square as a2, and up to so on. Coefficient of x raised to k is nothing but ak. As here we have the values of ak as 2, then what are the coefficients of x raised to 0, x, x square, x cube, up to so on?
2.
2. So first sequence is nothing but 2 into x raised to 0 plus 2x plus 2x square plus up to so on 2x raised to k plus up to so on. So it is nothing but summation k running from 0 to infinity 2 into x raised to k. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Next one is nothing but 1 plus 3x plus 3 square x square plus 3 cube x cube. So next one is nothing but 3, what is its general term? 1 into x plus 3x square. I think first term will be the 1 plus 3x plus 3 square x square plus up to so on 3k x raised to k and plus up to so on. So what is it? Is nothing but summation k running from 0 to infinity. What is the value of here? Here is nothing but
3 raised to
3
4
raised to k x raised to k. This one is the generating function corresponding to the sequence ak equal to 3 raised to k, that is its k, the general term is 3 raised to k. Now the last one is nothing but ak equal to k plus 1, so which is nothing but Yes. What is its sequence? Sorry, it's the
k
infinite
into
series.
x raised to k.
That one is nothing but summation k running from 0 to infinity k plus 1 x raised to k. So these are the generating function corresponding to the kth general terms, that is ak equal to 2, ak equal to 3 raised to k, and ak equal to k plus 1. कुणाल काही डाऊट यामध्ये?
No, sir.
Now there are some special types of generating functions. Let us see some special generating functions. Generating functions. Okay, let us see the first one. The generating function of the sequence 1 1 1 up to so on 1 is, tell me what is the generating function? G of x is
X
nothing
raised to
but
k.
series वर का फक्त x raised to k?
Series वर, sir.
Yes, it is nothing but coefficient of x raised to 0 is 1. So 1 into x plus again 1 into x square plus 1 into x cube plus up to so on, which is nothing but series k running from 0 to infinity x raised to k. Similarly, now it's closed form. What is this? Sorry, I think here is 1 into x. First term is nothing but 1 into x raised to 0. That one is nothing but 1. So it is nothing but 1 plus x square plus x cube plus up to so on. Summation k running from 0 to infinity. But already we know that. What is the closed form of the series 1 plus x square plus x cube plus up to so on? Which can be written in
1 upon 1 minus x.
1 minus x. Okay, which can be written in closed form as g of x is nothing but 1 upon 1 minus of x. Okay, similarly the second one, the generating function of the sequence 1 2 3 4 is, yes, what is its generating function? G of x is nothing but 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x cube plus up to so on. So what is its series form? Summation k is running from 0 to infinity. Yes.
K plus 1.
K plus 1 x raised
X
to
raised
k. Now, there is a series 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x plus up to so on. Then what is its closed form?
1 upon 1 minus 2x.
1 upon
Sorry, x square, sir.
x square. Yes, which can be written in a closed form as g of x is equal to 1 upon 1 minus x brackets. If instead of this plus, if it is alternate, that is minus, plus minus, then what is the value?
1 plus x.
1 plus x bracket square. Okay. Now, third one, the generating function of the sequence 0, 1, 2, 3, and up to so on is nothing but g of x will be equal to, first coefficient will be 0, then there is no coefficient for x raised to 0. So what is the first term? Which is x, plus second term will be
X square.
2x square plus 3x cube plus 4x raised to 4 plus up to so on. So actually it is nothing but x into 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x cube plus up to so on. Then what is its closed form? This one has, that is
X
1
upon 1
plus
minus
2x
x
plus
square.
3x square plus 4x cube has a closed form 1 upon 1 minus x bracket square, as here x is already, so it is nothing but x into 1 upon 1 minus x bracket square, that is it is nothing but x divided by 1 minus x bracket square is a closed form of the given sequence, that is 0 1 2 3 up to so on. Similarly, fourth one, the generating function of the sequence 1 a square and up to so on is, what is its generating function? G of x, just it is nothing but 1 plus ax plus a square x square plus up to so on, it is nothing but summation here running from 0 to infinity a k x raised to k. Now tell me its closure form. What is its closure form? For 1 plus x plus x square plus x cube plus up to so on, the closed form is nothing but 1 upon 1 minus x. Now it is nothing but 1 plus ax plus a square x square plus up to so on. Just consider the value of x here as ax.
X
So what is its
1
closed
upon
form?
1 1 upon 1 minus a.
Yes, which can be written in a closed form as g of x is equal to 1 upon 1 minus ax. Again, if it is alternate plus and minus, then it is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus ax. Okay. Now there is one example. Find the generating function of the sequence 1 a square a cube and up to so on, where a is a fixed quantity. A is a fixed constant. Okay, see the solution. As we know that if there is a sequence 1 a square a cube, this one is nothing but actually it is a raised to 0. Then its generating function is nothing but g of x is nothing but 1 into x raised to 0 plus a into x plus a square into x square plus a cube into x cube and plus up to so on. Now just subtract my 1 on both sides. Then g of x is nothing but g of x minus 1 is nothing but ax plus a square x square plus e cube x cube plus up to so on. As here we know that ax is common in each term. Then take this ax as outside bracket. Then it is nothing but 1 plus ax plus a square x square plus up to so on. But what is the value of this one?
1 upon 1 minus a.
Hmm. This one is nothing but the g of x, that is generating function 1 plus ax plus a square plus a cube x cube. So it is nothing but
Yes, sir.
ax into g of x. Okay. Now this one, just divide both sides by this value a into x. Then it is nothing but g of x minus 1 divided by ax is equal to g of x. So it can be written as g of x divided by ax minus 1 divided by ax, which is equal to gx. Now take this g of x on the left hand side, that is actually it is nothing but subtracting g of x on both sides. Then it is nothing but g of x divided by ax minus of g of x, and which is equal to 1 divided by a into x, which implies take g of x common, then it is nothing but 1 upon a into x minus of 1, and which is equal to 1 upon a into x. So it is nothing but g of x into, this one can be written as 1 minus ax divided by a into x, and which is equal to 1 upon ax. This a 1 upon ax, 1 upon ax gets cancelled. So which is nothing but, first we will write, take this one on the right hand side. This right here as it is 1 ax. and which is nothing but ax as it is. So what is the value of g of x? G of x is nothing but 1 upon a into x. Just multiply both side by ax upon 1 minus ax. Then it is nothing but ax divided by 1 minus of ax. This one get cancelled. So what is the generating function? G of x is nothing but 1 upon 1 minus ax. So in this way we can also find out our generating functions. Okay, इथपर्यंत clear आहे.
Yes, sir.
Now there is one chart. Let us see. The summary of various types of sequence and the corresponding generating functions. Corresponding generating functions are given in the following table. Okay, so here there is a table in which there are the generating terms of the sequence and its corresponding generating functions. Okay, let us find out the table here. This will be a serial number. Here, general term of the sequence an, general term of sequence an and the corresponding generating functions. Generating functions. Okay, so let us take the first one as serial number 1, the key generally that is either we can take n or a key. As here previously we have used the k, so let us take here the k. Okay, so if the kth general term is 1, then what is the corresponding generating function?
1
Yes,
plus
it
x
means it
plus
is a
x square
constant
plus
sequence. Then it is nothing but 1 plus x square plus x cube. And we know that its closed form is nothing but
1 upon 1
1
minus
upon 1
x.
1
minus
upon 1 minus 6. Second one, if instead of 1, it is suppose minus 1 raised to k, then what is its closed form? It means it is plus and minus alternate. K is running from 0 to infinity. Minus 1
1
raised to
upon
0,
1
1.
plus x.
1 upon 1 plus x. Yes. Next one. K plus 1. Means it is nothing but 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x cube plus up to so on.
1 minus bracket square.
1 minus
X bracket square.
1 upon 1 minus x brackets. Now the fourth one. If it is k, then it means its first term will be
1
0.
upon 1 minus kx.
1 upon 1 minus kx का सही हो. It is nothing but k is running from 0 to infinity. Then what should be the sequence? Sequence is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3 up to so on. So what is its generating function? G of x is nothing but 0 into x raised to 0. That is first one will be cancelled. So x plus 2x square plus 3x cube plus up to so on. Again here we have to take x common. Then it is nothing but 1 plus 2x plus 3x square. As we know that 1 plus 2x plus 3x square is nothing but 1 upon 1 minus x bracket square and into this x. So what is its generating function? X divided by 1 minus x bracket square.
Yes, sir.
So it is nothing but x divided by 1 minus x bracket square. Fifth one. If it is k into k plus 1, then tell me what is the sequence? Yes. Its generating function is nothing but 2x divided by 1 minus x bracket cube. Same we have to do for this one also. That is, whenever there is a sequence 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x square, then its corresponding generating function is 1 upon 1 minus x bracket square. Similarly, if k into k plus 1 is the k general term, then its generating function is 2x divided by 1 minus x bracket cube. Okay. Now the sixth one is nothing but k plus 1 into k plus 2. K plus 1 into k plus 2. So instead of this 2x upon 1 minus cube, it is just a 2 divided by 1 minus x bracket. Same for if k is the kth general term, then it is nothing but x into 1 minus x bracket square. If it is k plus 1, then it is nothing but 1 upon 1 minus x bracket square. So whenever it is k plus 1 into k plus 2, then it is simply a 2 divided by 1 minus x bracket cube. But if it is k into k plus 1, then just we have to multiply this one by x. Then it is nothing but 2x divided by 1 minus x bracket cube. Okay, so whenever the kth general term of the sequence will be a raised to k, then what is its corresponding generating function, which is nothing but 1 upon 1
1
minus
minus
ax. And if it is minus a to the power k, then
1 upon
1
1
upon
plus
1
a.
plus a.
1 plus a into x. And last one is nothing but 1 upon k factorial. Then what is its corresponding generating function? 1 upon k factorial, it means what is the sequence? Sequence is nothing but whenever k is equal to 0, then it is 0 factorial. So first term will be 1. For second one, it is nothing but
1.
1 divided by 2 factorial. Third term will be 1 divided by 3 factorial. Fourth one will be 1 upon 4 factorial. And up to so on. So what is its generating function? Generating function is nothing but 1 plus, yes, what is next one? X divided by 2 factorial plus x square divided by 3 factorial plus x raised to 4 divided by 4 factorial. So what is this corresponding series is nothing but
X
yes,
raised
what
to n upon n factorial.
x raised to n divided by
N plus 1 factorial.
n plus 1 factorial. Actually, this one is nothing but what is the value of e raised to x? Yes, what is power series expansion of e raised to x? As the e raised to x, sir.
1 plus x raised to x square x square by 2 factorial, like that.
Okay. Whether this sequence is correct. जर केथ जनरल टर्म ही माझी 1 अपॉन के फॅक्टोरियल असेल तर ही मी लिहिलेली सिक्वेन्स करेक्ट आहे का?
सर तिथे 0 पासून घ्यायचं ना, k इज इक्वल्स
येस,
टू
माझं मिसिंग झालंय. 1 कॉमा 1 कॉमा 1 अपॉन 2 फॅक्टोरियल आता करेक्ट आहे.
यस सर.
ओके, सॉरी बरं का माझ्याकडून प्रिंटिंग मिस्टेक. ऍक्च्युअली व्हेनेवर इट इज 1 प्लस दिस वन इज x डिवायडेड बाय 2 फॅक्टोरियल प्लस x स्क्वेअर, याच्या करस्पॉन्डिंग तुम्हाला जनरेटिंग फंक्शन मिळणार नाही असं होणार नाही. हा मिळेल ना माझा करस्पॉन्डिंग x रेज टू n डिवायडेड बाय n प्लस 1 फॅक्टोरियल. ओके, but this one is not a generative function corresponding to our kth general term 1 upon k factorial. It is nothing but 1 comma 1 divided by 2 factorial comma 1 upon 3 factorial and so on. So it is nothing but 1 plus 1 into x plus 1 upon 2 factorial into x square plus 1 upon 3 factorial into x cube plus up to so on. That is, it is actually nothing but 1 plus x square divided by 2 factorial plus x cube divided by 3 factorial and up to so on. And so its value is nothing but same as e raised to x. So it is nothing but e to the power x. So whenever the k, the general term is 1 upon k factorial, then the corresponding generating function is nothing but e raised to x. Clear आहे इथपर्यंत?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Now if suppose we have to do the sum and multiplication of two generating function, let us see what can we do. Addition and multiplication of two generating functions. Two generating functions. Okay, so first we will consider the two generating function, and then we will say how we can define the addition and multiplication of corresponding generating function. Actually, arithmetic operations allow us to create a new generating function from old ones. From old ones. Suppose that generating functions are given that is f of x and g of x be two generating function, then f of x is nothing but a naught plus some a1x plus a2x square plus up to so on. So in power series form it is nothing but summation k running from 0 to infinity a k x raised to k, and g of x will be the another generating function which is nothing but b naught plus b1 into x plus b2 into x square plus up to so on, which is nothing but summation k running from 0 to infinity pkx raised to k. So g of x is a generating function having corresponding sequences b naught b1 b2 up to so on, and f of x is a generating function having corresponding sequence will be a naught a1 a2 up to so on. Now both the series are running from 0 to infinity. Just there is a change in coefficient. So what is the f of x plus g of x, which implies f of x plus g of x? As we know that addition of two series is nothing but just we have to add the corresponding constant, that is a naught plus b naught. Now the coefficient of x, that one are nothing but a1 plus b1 into x plus a2 plus b2 into x square plus up to so on. So what is its closed form? That is series form, which is nothing but summation k running from 0 to infinity ak plus bk x raised to k, and which is nothing but the generating function for this sum of the two generating function. That is its corresponding sequence is nothing but this one, that is a naught plus b naught, a1 plus b1, a2 plus b2. These are the terms of the our sequences. Then f of x plus g of x is the is generating function of the sequence ak, where kth general term is nothing but yes, what is the kth general term of the sequence?
ak plus bk
ak
x raised to k.
ak plus bk x raised to k. kth जनरल टर्म माझी x raised to k येणार नाही, हे ऑलरेडी आहे माझ्याकडे x raised to k. kth जनरल टर्म
Yes,
माझी
sir.
माझे फक्त हा कोएफिशिएंट असेल ना तो. ऍक्च्युली kth जनरल टर्म साठी मी ak घेणार होतो, पण जस्ट वी हॅव ऑलरेडी यूज ak, सो लेट दिस वन एज सम xk. सो दिस विल बी द kth जनरल टर्म. परत इथं कन्फ्यूज करा तुम्ही x की इथं का घेतला, घेऊच नका काही त्यासाठी. दिस वन इज जस्ट अ kth जनरल टर्म, kth general term of the sequence. Okay, this one is for the addition. Then what is the multiplication of two generating function? As already we know that multiplication is modeled on the familiar rules for multiplying two polynomials. These are same as the polynomials, that is a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus up to so on. Similarly, b naught plus b1x plus b2x square plus up to so on. These are the two polynomials having degree is not defined. Then what is f of x into g of x? So fx into gx is equal to, what is fx? Fx is a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus up to so on. Similarly, b naught is b naught plus b1x plus b2x square plus up to so on. Now we have to find out its multiplication, which is nothing but First one is nothing but a naught b naught. Except a naught b naught, is there any constant term?
No, sir.
So first one term is nothing but a naught b naught. Now we have to find out the coefficient of x. These are the coefficient of x raised to 0. Now we have to find out the coefficients of x. So whenever we will this multiply a naught into b1, then into x. So it is first. So it is nothing but a naught into b1 plus a naught into b2 plus its coefficient. Its term is nothing but x square. So here there is no term which is a coefficient of x. Now multiply this a1 with b0. Then it is nothing but plus a1 into b0 into x. Now, except these two coefficients, that is a0 b1 and a1 b0, is there is any coefficient of x in the multiplication?
No, sir.
बाकी कोणताही मल्टिप्लिकेशन केलं तर तुम्हाला तो एक तरी त्याची करस्पॉन्डिंग एक्स स्क्वेअर एक्स क्यूब असे मिळत जाते. सो दिस वन इज नथिंग बट इंटू एक्स प्लस. नाउ टेल मी द व्हॉट आर द कोएफिशिएंट्स ऑफ एक्स स्क्वेअर. एक्स स्क्वेअर साठी काय येते? ए नॉट जर तुम्ही बी टू सी बी मल्टिप्लिकेशन केला तर मला एक्स स्क्वेअर मिळेल. ए नॉट बी टू. येस प्लस व्हॉट इज नेक्स्ट वन? ए नॉट दुसऱ्या सोबत कोणासोबत जरी केला तरी मिळणार नाही. प्लस ए वन बी वन. ए वन बी वन प्लस a2 b naught सोबत केला तर मिळेल. So a2 b naught and these are the only terms which are plus up to so. Now from this one, that is a naught b naught, a naught b1 plus a1 b. That is just the coefficient of x raised to 0, x raised to 1, x square. We will find out the coefficient of x raised to k. What are the coefficients of x raised to k then? Suppose this will be the x raised to k. Then what are its coefficients? First one is nothing but for x square it is nothing but a naught b2 plus a1 b1 plus a2 b naught whenever k is equal to 2. So whenever k is there, then what are its coefficients? They are nothing but summation k running from, as here we have to take the coefficient of k, so we will take I is equal to 0 to k ai bk minus I. Let us check whether this one is true. Okay, so whenever k is equal to 2, then it is nothing but summation I running from 0 to 2 ai bk minus I, means it is nothing but b2 minus of I. Just we have to run the value of I. So it is nothing but a naught b2 plus next one a1 b2 minus I, it is nothing but a1 b1 plus next one is nothing but a2 b2 minus 2, which is nothing but b0. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Same for I equal to 1 also. So this one is nothing but the coefficient of x raised to k plus up to so on. So what should be this series? Series is nothing but summation k running from 0 to infinity into summation I running from 0 to k. Since this will be the kth general term of the given series, though this kth general term bk minus I into x raised to k. So this is nothing but fx into clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is the formula of the product of two generating functions. Yes. Up to now, any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.